Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I did a poll on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and there was one person who recommended that I talk about my experience after college and the struggles that came with it. So I have gone to 3 different colleges in my life. It took me 5 years to graduate because the first college that I went to, 1, I was suspended, and 2, it was not accredited, so those credits did not transfer over. My grades were also not that good, so not a lot would have transferred over anyway. I went to Pensacola Christian College, and then I worked at an office job / construction site for about a year and a half, and I did school online at University of Maryland Global Campus. I was doing communications at the time, and that is the major that I ended up with when I went to GCU. It got a little bit more specific when I went to GCU. I did communications with an emphasis in broadcasting and new media. It was a great major, and I had great professors. I'm very glad that I ended up going to GCU. College is something that is difficult for a lot of people because 1, they may not have the money for it, and 2, it's really hard to get out of your comfort zone. Even going to a college in your state can still be a challenging feeling, especially if you have a great community of people around you at home. If you have great family, you might get a little bit homesick, and it may feel like a stretch to go out, challenge yourself, meet new people, and just consider what your life will be like as an adult and independent. That's something that was really difficult for me when I went to my first college, Pensacola Christian College. The college is crazy. I talk about how I got suspended from that college because the rules were extreme. Guys and girls were not allowed to hang out off campus with each other, and there are so many more. I highly recommend you looking at the rule book. But even still, I was not prepped to go there. My sister filled out everything for me. That just shows how unprepared I was, because I honestly didn't think that I was going to go to college. I pushed it off as long as possible because the school that I grew up in was a independent fundamental Baptist church, and it was legalistic, no doubt about it, and they highly encourage you to go into ministry because they considered jobs to be secular. So they had enough nurses, there were enough businessmen. What we really need are missionaries and pastors. So I was thinking if I wasn't going to be doing ministry, then I wasn't going to be doing God's will, which was a really tough thing to navigate through as a teenager. And I often pushed away any desires that I had. And I think that left me very conflicted as to what I should pursue, because I was very into entertainment. I was very into personal relationships. And I never dreamed, because I thought it was selfish. I was like, okay, if I have a dream to be famous, if I have a dream to interview people for movies, because that was my dream job, is interviewing people on the red carpet and talking about their newest movie coming out and all of the details surrounding it. I would love to do press for movies. But that just seemed very far-fetched, and I felt like I was dishonoring God by doing anything outside of serving Him in a church setting. So I was like, am I going to be a youth pastor? Am I going to be a pastor? And that just left me paralyzed a little bit of the things that I want to do, I'm not allowed to pursue. And the thing that I have to pursue is not something that I feel God is pointing me to. So I just tried not to think about the future at all. So that was my mindset when I graduated. I was like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I should do. And it was very conflicting. It was a deep and real struggle as to, man, I don't feel like I'm that smart. I was just very hard on myself because the setting that I grew up in was, I wasn't surrounded by people who were my age and not living a Christian life. It was just people who were like me or people who were pretending to be. And it was just very challenging for me. So when I went to Pensacola Christian College, the only reason why I went there is because my parents offered to pay for it. At the time, that was the only school that they offered to pay for. So I kind of wrote off community college and doing anything outside of that because I was like, okay, I need support financially. And they said that they'd help out. And my sister had gone there before, so I was used to the school and the rules there. They were similar to what I had growing up. So I thought that I could get through. I didn't even know what credits meant. I didn't know that you needed 120 to graduate college. I didn't know that 60 equated to an associate degree. I didn't know what the credits were worth. All of it was a mystery to me. I didn't even know how many credits a minor was. 160 to get your bachelor's, 15 for a minor, but it was just, I didn't know what I wanted. I ended up choosing an accounting major. or no, I did business. I ended up choosing a business management major. That's not for me, especially at that time. I did not know what I wanted. I was just there to have fun. So college, is it worth your time and money? Yes, if you know what you're getting into, even though I didn't use it like I should. The first experience that I had at that school was kind of a playground. I didn't know what I wanted to get into, and I was just excited to have friends for the first time, to be well known, to be liked. Those are things that I didn't experience much at my Christian school because everybody was forced to be your friend. And I also felt like I didn't fit in with the friend group that I had. I didn't feel like I actually connected and related with them or cared about their lives, for a lot of them. So going to school and finding people that I could choose to be close with and who wanted to be friends with me was so exciting for me, because that's what I wanted since I was a kid. You know, I didn't have my brother around much, so I was so excited to make guy friends, because the ones that I had, I felt were nothing like me. So I could be friends with people who dress like me. I could be friends with people who were creative like me. And it was really good for me socially. And I think I needed those social interactions to feel confident in who I was, because I lacked a lot of confidence, and it kind of came out when I went to that first school. And yeah, of course, depth matters in friendship, but I was okay with just having friends who were like me at the time. I was hand selecting people who I saw in myself. And at the time, I think that was really good for me. Move on to the next school, which was online. That was a struggle because I still had the impression of, man, I don't know what I'm going to do when I graduate. I'm not smart. I can't do anything right. But I realized how good I was with people. And the Lord restored a lot of confidence in who I was, because what I was going to do after I graduated was a huge mystery to me. And I was praying that I could get a real job. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts at the time. This is after I got kicked out of my school freshman year. And somebody offered me a job at his office, and I was making almost double my salary. And I was like, wow, the Lord's going to provide for me, and that's going to be just fine. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, as long as I know that I'm in the right place. That's all that matters. And I got to talk with people each day. I loved my coworkers, and it was a big learning experience with me, how to handle confrontation with coworkers who had different personalities than me, because I'm not used to saying yes or no, or setting boundaries. So that was just a huge opportunity, and I needed that job to do it. And then fast forward, I ended up going to GCU, because even though I'd saved a lot of money, I still wanted to be around people who were like-minded. I was excited about moving to a new state. This time it was my choice. It wasn't my parents telling me I need to go to this school. It was me deciding, okay, I want to be around people my age who have the same desires and pursuits as me. And I think that I could have graduated much earlier than I did, but I kind of milked out the process. I could have taken more classes, and I could have done summer classes to graduate in like a year and a half, but I did it in 2.5 years because I wanted to just take in every moment. Looking back, I don't know if that was the best decision, but the what ifs aren't necessary. It got me to where I'm at now. All that to say, in choosing a college, know what you're looking for, know what you want to do, and the reason why you're going. If it's not your desire to go, you may not get as much out of it as you'd like. It's okay if you don't go to college. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do, but put yourself out there, and it may be worth it. My light keeps dying! Anyway, that's my college experience. That's my college experience. Bye! 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 College!